So talk to me about the agency side of things. What's working for you in terms of generating leads for your own agency clients, and what's been working well for you these days? Nick, you want to go first?
What's working? Being friends with Ed, that helps.
I'm into that.
And, actually, we're like 90%, 95% referral based. I think people lose sight of the value of that. Honestly, when we just got done with our conference that we were at, a lot of us pushed that, and I think that opened a lot of eyes to the younger or the newer agencies out there saying, well, how do I go and generate leads? How do I generate leads for my company? Do a really good job for your clients. We've got some big clients that we do really well for, and they are our biggest champions on the internet and to all their friends at their masterminds they go to. So our lead influx and inflow is really good to the point where we push away probably 35% of our clients because they're not ready to do any PPC. They might be thinking that they are or told that they are, but they don't even have a functioning website, which we could go down that path for a long time talking about landing pages and stuff like that. So with lead generation for us, it's strong. But then also we keep in mind that we can't help everybody by making them a customer, but we can help everybody by pointing them in the right direction, giving them sound advice, telling them do this, not that. And I think that's another thing that people lose sight of is every person we talk to on a consult call, we make sure to make it a valuable conversation for them instead of just being like, oh, you don't have any money, see ya. Because we've got two clients that we started with $500 budgets and grew into monster teams. One of them is in Jacksonville, and they did $1 billion in sales last year. Wow. And they started as a very small client, and then they just kept coming back and saying, we want more, we want more, we want more. So they're one of our top, our anchor clients that we have. And they came from a conversation saying, hey, I don't know if you're ready for this or this yet. Let's start it and try that. And they just, that made them believers in us caring about them. So for referrals, that's very valuable for us, but then also, paying it forward and helping other people out that can't use our services now, but might be able to use something else.
Yep. I 100% agree with you there. When you talk to people originally in the or early on in the conversation, everyone thinks they're going to scale to the moon, take out 20 agents, whatever, open up their own office type thing, until the rubber hits the road, and
right,
and more than they originally come in at. And the ones that scale up tend to surprise you. So that definitely resonates with me, what you just said. And then the consultative approach: do right by people, offer them solid advice, actionable advice. Do right by them and talk to them as if you were talking to your sister or your mother, and offer them the advice you'd offer them if they were getting into business. And that stuff comes around. We've gotten referrals from so many people that we didn't even take on as clients just because we shot them straight and said, this isn't a good idea for you. Come back in X amount of time. And it resonates. You don't just try to take people's money, but you shoot straight with people. It's got a huge impact. So it's refreshing to hear someone else say that. Mm-hmm. Dustin, what do you got cooking?
Yeah, for me, emails, the main thing I'm doing right now. I'm working on some ads, which will be YouTube and more Facebook stuff. I was working on an offer. It was really a training to kind of put out there for my industry. But email's been working fairly well for Google Ads audit. So I'm basically finding advertisers running ads in my industry and just like, hey, I saw your ad. There's more systemized ways of doing this, but the basics is, hey, you're running an ad. This is the ad I saw. Hey, if you need any help doing a Google Ads audit, we can usually save you, operators X amount of percent, whatever. So nothing guaranteed, obviously, but it's a pretty reasonable outcome most of the time. So just, sending it out. We get some people that say stop. Some people say, sure. I just did one for a guy yesterday in Colombia who does some pretty cool tours over there. He was like super happy. We've got clients that way, and also build a really good kind of rapport with people, which is what I was also interested in doing, right? It's about, obviously I want clients, right? But I like to be able to help people. Like some of these guys, like you said, Nick, they're spending way less than I would charge them, but I'm giving them value in this video audit that I do. Cause I was doing them on like a Google Sheet, screenshots and all that. I transitioned to video so I can show them. And so it's a little bit faster for me also. And I'm on camera. I get to kind of, build rapport with them visually that way. But that's been working really well. Either people get value from the audit and they're like, dude, you're awesome. And they're happy about it, or they're hiring us, or they're ignoring us with the email. Like that's usually one of the three outcomes. So far so good.
Yep.
And Dustin, are you sending from your main email, or are you setting up?
Ooh, no. I use the Gmail that I've had for a long time. When they respond to that email, because they'll say, yeah, I'm interested or whatever, then I'll respond from my regular, but I do not send out cold from my domain, because I'll be, it'd be bad.
Can you,
and we're not sending like hundreds of thousands of emails. I'm sending we're probably like maybe 400 or 500 people in a list at any given time. So it's not huge volume anyway,
So for those that don't know, if you're sending from your main, so clicksgeek.com email, can you explain what the risk is there and why someone wouldn't want to send from their main email?
Yeah. Because if people report you as spam, then it's basically going to affect your domain. So now, let's say you're sending from your main website domain, when you're trying to send a regular email, like if I'm sending Ed an email to say, hey, dude, what's going on? High chance I could end up in his spam folder, or especially for new people, right? New clients that maybe you've only emailed them once or twice. So Google doesn't recognize you as somebody that they trust yet. For sure, you're going to end up in spam there. And I've seen this happen to other agencies that when we used to do white label, we'd have their domain and we're sending their clients emails sometimes. It's only happened with one particular occasion, and it's all going into spam. They're like, what's up with, how come we're not hearing from you guys? I'm like, well, we're emailing you, but it's in spam. So what do you do to get out of that? You find somebody who can help you try, and I'm not willing to go on that path. So yeah.
Okay. Well, we've burned a couple domains with cold emailing from.
Oh yeah. My brother so I'm in a group text with my two brothers, and they both have companies. And my one brother was like, yeah, just set up this it's a woodpecker software.
That's what I'm using, Woodpecker.
Oh, dude, awesome. So cool. They were showing me it. And he's like, yeah, I'm sending them from my main domain. I'm like, whoa. You got to stop that immediately. I'm like, how many are you sending? He's like, I don't know, like 200 a day. I'm like, Jesus. Like, no, you got to pause everything. You got to get like a burner domain or something, dude.
Yeah, just get the .co version of your domain. Mine is a .co.
Yeah, that's why
I couldn't do that. But that's what I would typically do.
Awesome. Mark, what about you? What's working?
Well, you guys spark so many different things. I don't know which one to talk about. We're warming up a domain right now for cold email that we do a little bit of cold email, but not enough.
Explain real quick what warming up is, because it'll play into what Dustin just said. So just people understand what you're talking about.
Okay, well, basically, it's just taking that domain and using an email and starting to send and receive emails from there, maybe sign up for some newsletters, this or that. It's kind of like SEO, pretend it looks natural. And then once it's warmed up, you're more likely to be able to use it effectively for cold email, because they're not going to see, I don't know what all the rules are, but I know that there's certain rules for how many emails you can send a day. And if you suddenly start slamming them out, then you're probably going to get identified as spam, and they'll shut you down. So we're warming it up, and then the idea is I'm going to start using Rob Warner's PPC Ad Labs tool to do some.
That's what we're using too. Okay,
cool. And just some standard outreach to agencies and things. We do some, their agencies are easy to find on Google, so we just search them up, use Hunter.io or whatever to find their emails, cold email. That way, we'll do that through inbound through a different domain.
Do you guys use an email scrubber list, like to scrub your list to make sure there's no like undeliverables or?
No, no, not scrubbing at this point. Matter of fact, we haven't started using that domain yet, but since I knew we were going to be spraying out a lot more emails, I didn't want to do them on mine. And then we're using a tool of some sort. I don't know if it's great or not. I posted up on Facebook. Everybody gave me their suggestions. I've used Woodpecker in the past, but I just wanted to warm this thing up. So we used Warm Up My Inbox or something like that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, for anyone, let me jump in real quick. For anyone watching this who doesn't understand anything about cold email, what warm up basically means, the gist is that when your emails are warmed up, it means that you have a higher chance of your cold email hitting the inbox instead of going right into spam. That's all that we're talking about when we're talking about warming up emails.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Other than that, we're doing the whole gamut. We're starting to email our own list because marketers are dumb. They don't do things like market their own list. And maybe in 2022, we're going to the commitment thing with JC Height down in Costa Rica. It's all agency owners. just me getting in front of more agency owners, basically. And we finally got someone else to handle sales, so I don't have to be on, all those calls. And then knowing Ed, that's the other thing, just knowing Ed.
Sweet.
Ed's the secret weapon of all of the agents.
Yeah, right.
Ed and Rob. I don't want to forget you, Rob. You guys
I get nothing, man. I'm in the background. Nobody knows I exist.
He's like, I don't even know. Oh, I didn't know you guys were sending people to these guys.
Even though YouTube videos where I'm talking and I'm the one showing them how to do it, they're like, "Thanks, Ed," in the comments.
Or all the client testimonials would be like, Ed is awesome. He did such a great job in Google Ads. And I'm like,
Rob's like, what the hell, man?
yeah, every time. That's awesome. Hey,
That's
Mark,
great.
you post a lot on social media. Do you get business from kind of just having that presence on Facebook?
Facebook. It's the only thing that LinkedIn is basically worthless.
Yeah.
Twitter, I just go there to see people fight.
Yeah.
But Facebook, if I spent more time there, I could do more business there. I don't really want to have someone post for me, or just because I don't want, because it's fake. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you know,
You
what
have
I mean.
you have a unique sense of humor. You've got a very dry sense of humor. So it would be, I think, quickly seen through if someone was posting for you.
But to me, I love the interaction. I love to see what other people say when I say something snarky, or they respond indignant, not realizing I was being, just half tongue in cheek.
I love following Mark around Facebook and seeing his comments and seeing
That's
people
awesome.
lose their shit when they don't realize he's being, he's just having a tug at him there. I think I would guess you get a bunch of people that follow you just on, you're bringing knowledge to the platform, and then you're also just being a little bit of a smart ass, a little bit dry humor, and some people just don't get it, and you can see the rare few that'll get standoffish. But I think it brings down everybody having like their shields up, brings them down to be able to ask you questions or to get a better answer from you. I enjoy. I think you do really well on Twitter too. If you were over there.
I've been a little more active on Twitter. Twitter, I could never quite figure out. Facebook is the one where it feels a little bit more like a real conversation. I'm somewhere, I try to be honest, but not embarrassingly revealing on Facebook.
Mm.
Like when I see someone put up one of those posts, talking about how they dragged themselves, home vomiting drunk last night at 3 a.m. Like, I'm not going to do that, but I might reveal a little bit about, myself on Facebook, because I feel like it's more honest that way. I don't know. I like that medium better than the others. I can't really make them work. I
feel
think.
like Twitter's a lot of bots too, isn't it? I always hear that
it is.
Twitter's like a lot of bots.
Yeah, and I think for agencies, I think Facebook is where it's at. I think they're all there. So I think if you're going white label, then I think a big opportunity is Facebook. So many
We
groups.
do some LinkedIn Navigator stuff, but that's really just to get emails so that we can hit them with, or email addresses so we can hit them with pricing and stuff. I've never gotten LinkedIn. Can't figure it out.
Right. Yeah. We've tried it in a few different niches in the past, and I basically go there just to remove the red dots from my profile. So
I do that 5 times a day on my phone just because it irritates me. I'm like, I've got notifications.
I had to take it off my phone. I couldn't. I was like, all right, I'm not looking for a job, and I'm out. I'm not dealing with lawyers. I'm off here.
Yeah, but your profile was viewed 35 times last week for a job.
True. This is true. True.
I love that email.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird because this is my last LinkedIn comment. Like 20 years ago, I was a Fox Pro programmer, or I did some of that. I get job requests on LinkedIn. I'm like, how deep did you have to dig? First of all, why are there still any Fox Pro programmers? And how far did you have to dig to find that?
That's awesome. All right. So what's working for us? Content, stuff like this, blog content, YouTube content, cold calling, strategic alliances, referral partners, direct mail. We're about to send out a little over 1,000 people next week.
How many?
17,000.
Nice.
To a niche, I presume.
Yeah. The niche.
Not handwritten. That's for sure.
No, definitely not handwritten. We started using this company called Letter HQ. They're in our direct mail course. If you guys don't have that, let me know and I can give you access.
No, I don't.
But it's pretty cool. You upload the letter, you can pick from one of their templates, and then does all this customization stuff. And you order it all. It's a true e-commerce platform compared to most mail houses. You call in, send over files, send over everything. This is done all online, and you can pick as long as you get it in by, say, Friday. It could go in by either Monday or Wednesday the following week, and then if it's Wednesday, it could go to Friday. So like super fast turnaround times, and pricing is really reasonable. For a letter, it's like 55 cents, and for a postcard, it's like 48 cents, something like that.
Wow.
Nice.
Minimums? What type of minimums do they have?
Probably
Probably 1,000 pieces.
No, I want to say we've done letters for like 250. I'd have to check.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very reasonable though, and for nothing else other than the speed, it's worth it. So, Justin, you said hand addressed. We used to hand address everything. Rob would come up to.
I've seen the pictures, dude. I remember you guys posted them on Facebook. That's why I said, I'm like, unless you started last year, you probably didn't handwrite those.
I used to sit in the apartment in Hoboken and fill envelopes and fill them in right up.
Yeah. That was when we were targeting the dental niche. So we used to do all that, and we just started testing different things. And in mass, the volume pricing difference for versus the effort and time to handwrite, an uptick in conversion ratio. So I'd rather just get a maximum out and then just keep doing that for the ROI on time that we'd invest to actually handwrite it. And there are writing fonts you could do now, and there are companies that'll have actual pens, like pens, like moving up, doing the writing.
You can't tell the difference in some of those letters.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
So
I've got a few of them from the yellow letter. You can't tell the difference.
yeah, and yellow letters for its main target is real estate investors, and these guys send a tremendous amount of direct mail. So so that's what we got going out. Once I place the order, I'll do an update on the video and then kind of do an ROI on what we got from it. And of course, we're selling the direct mail course on the back end, but we'll see if people are interested.
Question.
It works, right? Who wouldn't want to know?
Yeah.
I mean, not selling something if it works. So
Correct. Yep.
Are you throwing a QR code on the letter?
We're not.
I feel like that could be huge now that everybody's getting more used to it, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I didn't realize how big QR codes got again until
They're like menus now in restaurants.
Yeah, it's all the menus. So people and that's why like older people, I guess, like I would say my parents, like at late 60s, like they're pulling their phone out and just hitting the QR code in the restaurant. I'm like, I mean, this would have been a 15-minute ordeal to try to get my parents to pull up a QR code.
I mean, they tried for a decade for people.
Right.
All of a sudden, they changed it overnight. I thought they were dead for
COVID, man.
For a while.
Yeah.
People had to tap, that was it.
Yeah. So the reason I asked that is because it's lower barrier. You can track all of it, obviously, when they're coming through.
First round, I would say no. We're going straight phone call. Round, we'll put a website on there. I'm going to test it because I want the call. I want the one-to-one call, the direct call right away. The website traffic, but I think as we continue to mail, I think we will. Maybe not QR code, maybe website. I don't know, but I'm certainly open to it. I don't care. I'm open. It works.
The only reason I asked that is we did really well this year with the marketing packet, which again is given to you in seven-figure agencies. It's stupid the amount of value that you can pull out of that thing. But we took that marketing packet and sent it to our email list. We had a bunch of people ask if they could forward it on to their friends. We're like, yeah, go wild. I mean, it's got all of our links in it and everything circles back to us. And we had sort of thought about going to, top 1%, like you said, like real estate investors, like, they're not far off of what real estate agents and brokers are, but to send them that and have a QR code for the free marketing packet, here's, click here. We thought about doing that. That was something that we mulled over, but I just wondered if you guys had done it or tested, if anybody else had that you knew of. I think that could play well. I don't.
Yeah, I think that would do.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I just haven't messed. Honestly, I haven't used a QR code since COVID started, or since the seven-figure agency event. And then it's like we want. It was like snap a QR code.
Right.
So I'm down. I'm down to test anything. Rob knows this. I mean, the amount of testing we've done over the years, it's not
outrageous.
Yeah, it's like you don't call your marketing fail a fail, you just call it a test that didn't work well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
We've gotten more marketing that's been wrong than marketing that's been right.
Right. Yeah.